Hey everyone, welcome back. This is the High Octane Podcast, and I am your host, Bob. Let's go. All right, like I said, High Octane Podcast. I'm your host, Bob. First things first, um, if I trail off, if I don't seem too energetic, or if I don't know, trail off, mumble, do whatever, it's because I'm very tired. I've worked 34 hours this week so far. Self-inflicted. I'm not complaining. I'm just letting you guys know I'm very tired. But I'm gonna do my best to entertain and do the thing that I do. So let's get into it. Um, I suppose I'll do what am I drinking first. I don't know. I got another list for you guys today, but let's get that out of the way first. So what am I drinking? Kind of weird. Kept skipping, jumping, doing whatever. But I'm drinking the same thing I was drinking last week. That Evan Williams 1783. It's good. It's cheap. So I got another bottle of that, but nothing special. I got to keep costs down. That's kind of part of why I'm working so much too, because I need money. Some things happened in the last few months, and I need to make some money. So that's why I'm working so much. So forgive me for not changing it up, but it's good shit and cheap, like I said. Okay, yeah. Cheers, and don't drink and drive. Okay, so this list I have for you guys today was sent to me by my brother in the group. I have not seen the list, like I always try to not to do. So I'm as surprised as you guys. So I do not have any idea what's on this list. So we're gonna get right into it. How about that? Let me do my screen share thing here. All right. This list is called the worst cars of all time, or worst made cars of all time. I don't know why they have to phrase it that way, but that's just how they called it, or what they called it. Okay, so number one, I don't know how many cars are on the list. I know nothing about it, so we're just gonna get right into it. This first car that they're gonna rip on is the 1917 Chevrolet Series D. Now, these pre-war cars, they're really weird to me. They all pretty much look the same. And pre-war, there were just so many more manufacturers than there are now in America. Uh, and like I said, they all just look the same. They're just so cookie cutter. There was no design imagination back then. They literally all look the same. Now, what does it say as to why it's a badly built car? Well, this had their first V8 that they ever tried to make. Only made 36 horsepower. I don't know. It just says it wasn't a good car. I don't know. It's kind of weird. That doesn't. Oh, whoa. Apparently, this V8 made less horsepower than Chevy's 4-cylinder of the time, and that's pretty bad. That is definitely a joke. Is what they actually say in this article. Wow. That's very interesting. I don't know why they would even bother with a V8 that makes less horsepower than a 4-cylinder. I don't know. I don't dislike the look of the car. It's a cool car. Pre-war cars are always cool. They're finicky and we're very well built and all that crap. But I think it's a cool looking car. I don't know for what it is. All right, 1923 Chevrolet Series M. Okay, it's like a 2-door bench seat car. I mean, it doesn't look much different than the last one. I don't know. All right, let's see what this one says. Another fail from Chevy. Individual air-cooled cylinders. Plagued with problems, blah, blah, blah. Overheating. Dangerously overheat in hot weather. And apparently it was very unsafe. 500 of the cars were built, and I guess all of them were recalled. That's not good. You definitely don't want that. What's up, broski? My brother says hello, everyone. So yeah, I guess I mean, if you build 500 cars and they're all recalled, that's definitely gonna hurt your pocketbook a little bit, I would say. Yeah, I don't know. They're weird looking. I don't really care for this one. This one's kind of funky. I don't know. Next one's 1955 BMW Isetta. That's definitely an ugly car. That is for sure. I don't know much about them. I've never seen one in person. I know that they were very unique in the way that the front, this whole front panel is the door, and it's hinged right here. You can see where I'm moving my little arrow here. It's hinged right there, and it opens. The whole thing opens up to the side, or opens to the side, not up, and the steering wheel is attached to it as well, so that moves with it. It's a really, really weird design. Very underpowered car. Yeah, it made 12 horsepower. You could only do 31 miles per hour. It did get 78 miles per gallon, but I mean, you're driving around in that, in this thing. So I don't know if that's a very good trade-off, but yeah, like I said, 12 horsepower, 1-cylinder engine. Apparently, it was only a gimmick, I guess, to draw attention to those early BMWs. It's pretty ugly, and apparently poorly built. I don't know. Trying to see what exactly they say about it. I don't know. It just says it's underpowered and kind of a joke. So whatever. But there are enthusiasts out there that like rave over these things. So there's that. I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's a selling point for other people. Yes, this is your list, my bro. It's definitely your list. Let's see. 1956 Renault Dauphine. I guess that's how you pronounce that. I don't know anything about this car. Never heard of it. I don't know that I've ever seen one. Pretty ugly. Renault is not known for the best looking vehicles. I mean, maybe now they're okay, but back then probably not. This is their attempt at a nice car. It's a sedan, obviously. Let's see. Slowest piece of junk mid 20th century had to offer. Wowzers. You don't want that. Rear engine. You don't hear that too often. That's more of a German thing than a French thing. 32 horsepower. Wow. I guess it takes 32 seconds to get to freeway speeds, whatever highway speeds were back then, maybe 55, 60, I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty bad, and apparently it's very poorly built. So yeah, it's pretty ugly. I do definitely agree with this one. And if this is how the hood sits normal, that's pretty bad hood gap there. Gaps are gigantic too, actually. So yeah, if that's even just the start of the problems, then yeah, poorly built vehicle, that's for sure. Let's see, 1957 Trabant. I have heard of Trabant. I know nothing about them. I don't know where they're built. It's a very ugly car. Small, little, economical. What? Oh, it's German. Go figure. East German. Wow. Trabant P50. I actually think that the Top Gear guys talked about this car. Bashed the shit out of it. Front wheel drive, 18 horsepower. Wow. My goodness. 1957, 18 horsepower. That's like the Citroen 2CV. I think that one makes like something around that. And it's even uglier than this fucking thing. Yikes. Two-stroke engine? What? What? You put a two-stroke in a car? Well, no wonder it made 18 horsepower. It didn't have brake lights or turn signals. Oh my goodness. What else? Most boring car you could possibly drive. strip it of any possible enjoyment or joy. You're left with a Trabant. They're bashing this thing pretty hard. And I don't blame them, really. Two-stroke in a car only makes 18 horsepower. I see turn signals right here. That's a turn signal. That's a turn signal. I don't know. Maybe the rear. I don't know. It says no turn signals. So I don't know. Duroplast body. I don't know what that is, but it's probably very cheap and not very sturdy, if you will. I don't know. I have to look up Duroplast, but I'm not going to do that. So I don't care. But yeah, very boring, very bland, very ugly, very poorly built. There's one mirror. I don't know. It's really weird. I don't know what's going on back here with the windows either. Like, it looks like there's no glass there. Maybe, I don't know if it rolls down or what, but that's ugly as shit. We're going to move on here. 1960 Chevrolet Corvette. Chevy is getting bashed. This car was kind of a junk pile. It was death trap. I do know the Corvette. It was their first mid-engine attempt, or sorry, rear engine. It's like the rear of the car. And yeah, they caught on fire a lot. Anytime anybody crashed into you, bad. Yeah. Oversteer, understeer. Chevy had a lot of lawsuits filed against them because of this car. Yeah, it's just a bad car. It's not a bad looking vehicle, but poor execution, extremely poor execution. Yeah, I don't recommend a Corvette to anyone unless you're just in a very not highly populated area and you only take it out like once in a blue moon, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I don't hate it, but I would never own one. That's for sure. They're just undrivable. They're death traps. So yeah, this one deserves to be on this list for show. 1968 Volkswagen 411-412. I don't know what that even means. Wow. This is some kind of weird station wagon. Holy crap. I don't know what to even say about this one. This is pretty bad looking. I don't know anything about it. I don't know that I've ever even seen it. Bulky and uncomfortable, rear-mounted air-cooled engine. Only produced from 68 to 72. Ugliest Volkswagens to hit the market. Wow. That's harsh, bruh. Has a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder, dual carbs, makes a whopping 80 horsepower. And it would catch fire a lot. Okay, 411 was the early ones, and then the 412 replaced it, and apparently it was just as bad. It's a damn terrible looking car. There's nothing appealing about it at all. That I can see anyway. I can't see the interior, obviously, but I don't think anything's gonna save this exterior. Not at all. Like, the wheels are weird. The front end's just all weird. I don't know. This is a weird car. I mean, I'm pretty sure this never made it to this country. Probably only Europe. Hopefully, maybe Russia, China, India, maybe. I don't know where the hell these things all ended up, but this is a bad car. They probably never made it here, I would imagine. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Let's see what else we got here. 1971 Chevy Vega. Chevy is getting bashed. Man, the Vega was actually not a bad car. I didn't mind it. Yeah, build quality back then wasn't great, but they didn't have any competition really. I mean, we're getting to the point where competition started in this country, but the Chevy Vega wasn't that bad. It was a baby Camaro, and it was pretty cool. So lay off my friggin' Chevys, whatever the hell website this is. I don't know. Earnspendlive.com. Screw you guys. I like the car. It did have mechanical problems. It was probably not built great. They probably broke down. Had an aluminum engine, apparently riddled with problems. Let's see what else. Cost more than a VW Beetle at the time and was 200 pounds too heavy. Okay, it should cost more than a VW Beetle. Beetle was like a junk pile. And if anyone doesn't like that I say that, fight me. I don't care. Let's see. Quality control is just not there. Vega was recalled for the rear axle shafts would separate from their housing, causing the wheels to fall off. That is not good, Chevy. Not at all. I think the wheels are supposed to stay attached to the car. That's kind of the point. But I think but modernize an old Vega underneath. Put modern suspension, brakes, motor, transmission, rear end, do all that stuff. You got a good car, I think. I think the Vega is pretty cool looking on the outside. Just upgrade everything underneath, and I think you got a pretty good car. Something that not a lot of people would do, obviously, but I think I thought it wasn't a bad car. Minus the mechanical problems. Sorry, guys. I told you I was tired, so that's probably going to happen more than once. I apologize in advance, though, for the yawning. I'm probably going to go to bed very early tonight because I got 2 more 12s to work. Because we're not working Saturday, which was the original plan. They canceled it today. So I'll end up with 58 hours this week, so I'm going to be very tired. But I get to go to a car show on Saturday, so I'm excited about that. And I will obviously take a lot of pictures, probably some video. I'm going with 2 of my buddies. So, and Chris, if you want to come, we're going to Good Guys at the Nashville Super Speedway. So if you guys want to come out, anybody that wants to come out, Nashville Super Speedway, Good Guys, whatever the hell they call it, Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be out there Saturday morning. Well, Chris, shit, you can't go because you have your show. Crap. Never mind. But anybody else that wants to go, Good Guys, Nashville Super Speedway in Lebanon, Tennessee. We're going early, so come on out. But there will be pictures and video, probably video anyway, posted after that. Moving along, 1971 Ford Pinto, piece of total shit. Ugly, nothing appealing about it. I don't care what you can fit under the hood. You can shoehorn a fucking big block 9 million cubic inch engine. I don't care. It's a piece of shit all around, through and through. So far, the worst car on this list, maybe compared to that BMW, maybe, I don't know. It's pretty even. They call it an all-time classic dumpster fire. That's pretty good. Because it would catch on fire. Low-speed collisions, it would catch on fire. Because it had a poorly designed gas tank that would rupture and catch on fire. That's what gas does. So yeah, 180 people died because of this little mishap or design flaw or whatever the hell you want to call it. They refused to recall the Pintos because, yowza, apparently it would be more cost effective to let people die and pay victim settlements than to repo every single Pinto that was sold and fix them. So they thought it was more important to save money than to save lives. So good on you, Ford. Fucking assholes. Excuse my language, but that warrants it. All right. What the hell? 74 Jaguar XKE V12 Series 3. How dare you? How dare you call this car anything negative? I don't care if it breaks down going up the street. This car is amazing. Well, look-wise. Mechanically, probably not. So, yeah, it's probably warranted. These old Jags were pretty shittily built. Shittily is not a word I know, but it's my word and I'm using it. It's a gorgeous car. Let's see, what do we have? 5.3 liter V12. That was gigantic back then. 150 miles an hour. Drives smooth as butter is what they say. Let's see. Very impractical, which you don't buy a car like this for practicality. So there's 16 under 7 seconds in the 50s. That's pretty good. Heavy at the nose, had some hideous rear bumpers, probably for the American market, because we fuck everything up with stupid looking bumpers. Look up the American version of the Lamborghini Countach and you'll see what I mean. If that's all you have to say about it, heavy at the nose and some hideous rubber bumpers, I would pay that. Absolutely. I would own one of these in a second. Because if those are your biggest complaints, that's very nitpicky and that's stupid. For such a beautiful vehicle, yeah, I wouldn't bat an eye at it. I mean, now obviously I wouldn't be able to buy one if my life depended on it, but those are some really ticky-tacky complaints. Like, give me some mechanical stuff. Give me like the Pinto. Come on. Okay, it says it's difficult to maintain and tune. All right, fine. But you have technicians that can do that. It might cost a little bit of money, but that doesn't mean it's poorly built. This is the worst made cars of all time. I mean, this car right here that you're looking at, this does not belong on this list. Not at all. It might be a little fragile, but I mean, look at the damn thing. It's a beautiful car. The E-Type has always been a beautiful, highly sought after car. Maybe not this exact version, but come on, man. This car does not belong on this list. Screw you. 1978 Dodge Challenger. Holy crap, that's ugly. What in the world am I even looking at? I've never seen this car. Oh my goodness. That is... You, Dodge, ruined the Challenger name with this car. Holy crap. If this is front wheel drive, I'm going to snap. Tell me it's not. Please tell me it's got to be. It's a 4-cylinder car. I don't know. It doesn't say. I might have to look it up. But 2.6 liter 4-cylinder, only made 105 horsepower. That was with the higher, where are my fingers here? Higher trim level. The base model had a 2-liter, only made 77 horsepower. This is a Dodge Challenger, everybody. Think of today's Challengers. You know, you have the Hellcat, you have the Demon, you have all these stupid variants of the Challenger that make just gobs of fucking horsepower. 77 horsepower in this piece of shit. I know that the 70s were a very, very downtrodden, just garbage period for muscle cars. I know that. The 1976 Corvette made like 150 horsepower with a V8. I mean, come on. The 70s were shit for muscle cars. I understand that. I get it. But the Challenger, this is a Challenger, ladies and gentlemen. And it made 77 horsepower in base trim. Just wrap your brain around that number. I know it's a 2-liter 4-cylinder, but 77 horsepower. 2 liters now can make up to, from the factory with massive tuning, over 400 horsepower. I think the A-Class Mercedes AMG makes over 400 horsepower out of a 2-liter turbo. And again, I know it's a 2-liter and it's a turbo and it's tuned to hell and technology's come a long way. I understand that. But 77 horsepower? Come on. This is just supposed to be a sports car, muscle car name, but you have 77 horsepower. Come on. Now, this doesn't say anything like, that's all it says about this car. You know, it's just bashing the fact that it's a Challenger and it makes 77 horsepower. No, you're 100% right. It's not a Challenger at all. Stacy, 100%. Clio FTW. Oh, Renault. Yeah, Renault. Yeah. The Clio was cool as shit. I agree with you, Chris. 100%. The Clio was cool. Not the newest ones. I can't remember what years those were. The mid-engine bonkers ones. The motor literally in the car with you. That car was insane. Yeah, but yeah, I do agree with that one. That one, it's out of this world ridiculous. But no, this car is just quintessential 70s muscle car, just fiasco. That's what it is. That's all it is. And shame on Dodge for putting the Challenger name on it. I definitely agree. So we're gonna move on. 77 horsepower. Ugh. 79 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme diesel. Ugh. Diesel engines don't belong in what is supposed to be, well, I don't know. The Cutlass was always kind of an enigma to me. Like, the identity that the Cutlass itself had, it was just never defined. Like, it never had a set identity. Like, it was never one thing, if that makes any sense. I don't know if it does. To me, I know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to explain what I mean. I don't know if I'm doing a good job at it, but the Cutlass was really, really weird because you had a Cutlass Supreme that had a V8. You know, it was good looking. It was okay fast, and then you had this a diesel engine. Like, okay, it happened because of the oil crisis. Okay, but did it really help? Probably not. Underwhelming power, myriad of other problems, blah blah blah. The technology was shit. We didn't really do diesels all that great, apparently. Only made 90 horsepower. And apparently it would explode if you accelerated fairly aggressively. I don't know. But apparently if it didn't blow up, it would more than likely break down. So it's just not a good vehicle to own. 70s diesel engines obviously apparently weren't good. Now they are. I mean, we built bulletproof diesel engines in this country. All three of them, you know, the big three, all the diesels are good. The Duramax, I don't even know what Dodge uses now. That Nissan has Cummins. And then I don't even know what Ford's diesel engine is called anymore. Power Stroke? It might be a Power Stroke still. I don't know. But Dodge has diesel down pat. Like, they are the industry leader in diesel. I hate to say that because I don't like Dodge, but they have the diesel technology down freaking pat. I don't know what the current diesel engines are doing torque wise because horsepower doesn't matter. I think Dodge is over 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. Again, I don't say pound feet because it's stupid. Chevy's close. The Duramax is almost to 1,000. Ford's probably almost there, if not over. But yeah, back then, these things were dogs. Like, they didn't accelerate, they didn't pull, they didn't produce. They're dirty, they sounded terrible. They're just diesels back then were just garbage. They were terrible. Like, just no, diesels sucked back then. They sucked. Okay, 1980 Chevy Corvette 305. The body style is cool. It's a good-looking vehicle. Like I said, mid to late 70s. This was the second to last year of the Corvette for this generation, this body style, whatever. There, for probably, my dad would know all this shit. He's probably going to be mad at me if he watches this because I'm probably not going to get this right. But I want to say from like 74-ish to 81, the Corvette was just a dog. It really was. I mean, it looked good, but it was a dog. It was just slow. It wasn't a Corvette. It wasn't. It was what? I don't know. It was just not a piece of shit. It was just slow. It wasn't a sports car. It really wasn't. It looked good, like I said. This car looks good, but it made 180 horsepower. I mean, come on. They call this the worst Corvette in history, and I could probably agree. Maybe not this year per se, because 180 is more than 150. Duh. So let's see. Let's see. This model stripped down the Corvette and kicked it repeatedly until it was a sad shell of its former self. Emission regulations, blah, blah, blah. That's why it only makes 180 horsepower. Only came in an automatic transmission, which a underpowered V8 with an automatic transmission is not what you want at all. That combination is just terrible. It's not going to perform at all. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a bad time for muscle cars, sports cars, everything, really. You just didn't see high horsepower cars from early 70s till late 80s, honestly, because, yeah, the Corvette did get better from 83 on, but not a lot. They were barely over 200 horsepower at that point. Not the greatest looking either until 90, 91. They got a lot better. And obviously, late 80s with the Buick Grand National, the GNX, and all that. Those were the fastest cars in the world by then, or at that time, by the way. Believe it or not. That's my realistic dream car, is a Buick GNX. But I've seen some of those go sell at auction for like 150 grand. So probably not very realistic anymore. Used to be, but not anymore. 1981 Cadillac V8 6 and 4. I will explain what that means because I do know what that means, actually. Good ass looking car. Very, very good looking car. I love these old Cadillacs. They're boats, absolute land yachts. They ride amazingly. They ride like you're on a freaking cloud of air. All right, so the V864, it boils down to its cylinder deactivation, but it's their first attempt at it, and it was very, very, very way before its time. It was very poorly done, very unreliable. It didn't work at all. They call this one of GM's worst creations, which I 100% agree. It was featured in a lot of Cadillac models in '81, including the DeVille, their flagship, top of the line, whatever you want to call it. And it boils down to trying to save gas. The cylinder deactivation is a fuel saving technology, and I'm still not 100% how well it works. Now, my car has it, and I'll tell you a very quick story, a little sidetrack. I went to Atlanta this past Saturday, to watch Andy Pilgrim race, and my dumbass left a little bit too late. Now, I completely missed his race. He was already gone, so I didn't even get to hang out with him, chill, talk, whatever. But a lot of the time I was on the highway, I was in 4-cylinder mode. My car is a V8, so I was in 4 cylinders, and I was averaging high 20s, low 30s. So that's actually really good for my car, and I was actually really surprised at how well that worked. So, now the technology's come a long way, and it actually does do what it's meant to do. Low 30s, V8, it's pretty damn good. So, now it's, the technology's there. It does work pretty well. Back in the 80s, not so much. It did, as they say, it does sound good in theory, but the technology just wasn't there. They say, I've never driven one of these, obviously, but the deactivation and reactivation was slow, probably extremely noticeable. So yeah, it didn't perform well. And, the car itself was cool. Like I said, car itself is beautiful. I know a lot of people weren't a huge fan of these cars. They're just kind of, I don't know, they thought they were a little bit bland, maybe. I don't know. I like them. But the engine, not so much. Poor execution of good technology, but very poor execution. I knew this car was going to be on the list. The DeLorean. I freaking love this car. It's a slow pile of shit, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I love how unique it is. I love how quirky it is. It's made out of stainless freaking steel. Come on. Those gull wing doors of this shit. Obviously, Back to the Future brought this car into the mainstream, but I mean, this car's cool. I don't care if it's slow. I don't care if it's a brick on wheels. I don't care. It's a cool car. That's not what we're talking about. Shitty car. Build wise, shitty. Just total shit. It was not well built. It had a 2.85 liter V6, only 130 horsepower, and it cost 25 grand in the 80s, which inflation, apparently due to inflation, is 70 grand. I wouldn't have been able to afford one, even if I wanted one, and if I was old enough to afford one. I was not. I wasn't even born yet. But anyway, let's see. What do they have to say about it? Yes, real world version is very, very unimpressive. Let's see. Complete and utter failure. John DeLorean, after he left GM, he turned into a complete tool. I mean, he designed in GTO, for fuck's sake. Like, he went from the GTO to this. Like I say, I think it's a cool car. But how do you go from a GTO, like one of the most iconic muscle cars from the day, to this with a 2.85 liter V6, which I don't even remember where they sourced it from. He wanted an LS, or well, he wanted the V8 from GM, but he burned that bridge somehow. I don't remember the whole story. There's a documentary on John DeLorean. If you want to know the whole story, look that up or watch it. I want to say it's on Netflix. But I mean, you have a stainless steel car and you have a underpowered 130 horsepower piece of shit V6. It's not going to perform like you want it to. Just not. And apparently had a lot of mechanical issues, which isn't surprising. mean, if my dad was watching this right now, he'd be able to tell me where they got that piece of junk V6 from, but I don't know that they watch it live. So, but it's fine. Cool car, piece of shit. Boils down to that. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is the first car that almost killed Cadillac, and it hurts my heart to talk shit about Cadillac, but I am going to talk shit about this car because it was a disaster. 1982 Cadillac Cimarron. Yowza. All right, now I know probably not many of you even knew this car existed. And it basically it boils down to a fancied up Chevrolet Cavalier. That's exactly what it was. They took a Cavalier, they slapped Cadillac badges on it, they changed the wheels, they upgraded the interior, not even a lot, maybe a little bit, and they called it a Cadillac. It was a fucking Chevrolet Cavalier. That's what this car is. They tried to church it up and call it a Cadillac. Now, that's not what you do with Cadillac when it comes to Cadillac. You don't defame the name that, like that. And you're trying to compete globally with this car. I'm sorry, you can't do that. BMW and Mercedes, they're not taking a dumbed down version of a car they make and trying to elevate it to compete, because they don't do that. They're BMW and they're Mercedes. They don't have lesser brands that they just church up and try to compete with global brands. You just can't do that. The Cimarron was double the price of a Chevrolet Cavalier. The exact same 4-cylinder, 88 horsepower. Wow. They did this for 7 years. Yikes. Shame on you, General Motors, and that's why you went bankrupt. Well, that's part of it. Obviously, it's not the whole part or the whole reason, but I mean, Jesus, what in the hell? Shady is not the word. Like, Jesus. All right. Moving on. Fuck that car. 1982 Chevy Camaro. I don't know. I mean, not my favorite Camaro ever, but it's not my least favorite either. Third gen, obviously. This is the first year. Okay. What do we have to say about it? 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, 90 horsepower. Okay, that was a mistake, obviously, but it was the early 80s. They didn't have much choice. Even the V8s, like I said before, even the V8s didn't make that crazy horsepower. But at the same time, 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, that was a poor decision on their part. Not even good for its time. Took 20 seconds to accelerate from 60. Yeah. Yep. The Cimarron and the Camaro were in 1982. There was two bad options from General Motors, unfortunately. But hey, at least you had options. You don't have shit for options anymore. They're almost. They're getting out of the car game completely. So, I mean, at least you had options back then. Oh, boy. I figured this would be on here, too. 1985 Yugo GV. This is a Yugoslavian, very subcompact car. Very, very poorly built. Very unreliable. Very cheap. Very ugly. Very just everything negative that you can think. This is that car. Yeah. You name your car after your country. That's how unimaginative they were when naming it. Let's see. Hideous in terms of appearance. Just as useless under the hood. 100% correct. In 87, it cost $3,900. That's about $9,000 today. Very cheap, very affordable. But this is a very perfect example of you get what you pay for. Nothing but fucking garbage. Complete and total garbage. Build quality, apparently that is non-existent, held together when parked, but if you drove it anywhere, it performed shitty until it broke down. Electrical system would short constantly, engine would explode, or parts would just randomly fall off, while you're driving. So yeah, that's exactly what you want in the car. Even though oh, I paid $3,900, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, but your wheel's over there. So I don't care what you paid. Yeah, it was a complete disaster. Any manufacturer in that part of the country, in that part of the world, Yugoslavia, even a lot of the Russian automotive brands, even there haven't been a ton, but they're all junk. They just don't know how to build vehicles over there, and I don't really know why. Because Russia's like a global superpower, and you would imagine that they would be able to make a decent vehicle, but they can't. They never have. They've never been able to do it. I don't understand why, but there's that. The Yugo, piece of junk, absolute piece of junk. Okay, 1987, another Cadillac. 1987 Cadillac Alante. Now, I don't know a ton about this car. What I do know is that it's cool. I don't know why the picture won't load. Let me reload the page here. Oh, wait, what? What are we doing here? Connection is not private. Yes, it is. What are we doing here? All right, hang on, guys. I gotta do something here. My stupid ass internet's not cooperating. Bear with me. I'll try to rant as I do this. Now, speaking of my car, I'll go off on a little bit of a rant here. Speaking of my car, everybody knows I have a 2017 Camaro SS. I like it. I very, very, very much enjoy it. But being out on my own again, not having shared expenses with anyone, I'm probably going to have to get rid of it. I don't want to, obviously, but yeah, I'm probably going to end up getting rid of it. Why are you not working? It's not working, and it's bugging me. It's really annoying. Keeps saying my connection is not private. I don't know what that even means. I think this website is probably going to get compromised. Screw it. I don't care. Oh, now it won't even open, even though I tried to do it unsafely. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to be able to pull this back up for you guys. I might have to do it on my phone and then just pull up random pictures and show you guys that way. Bear with me, please. Like I was saying, I'm considering getting rid of the Camaro, only because of just my other bills. I have to eat, obviously. So I don't want to, like I say, but I think I might have to get rid of it. Are you going to load on my phone too? Or not load on my phone? You stupid bastard. Nope. It is not going to work. Apparently, it has been deleted, that list. Let me see if I can find another one. Maybe something similar. I don't know. Let me do some quick Googling. Worst made cars. Anyway, okay, these are 32 cars to avoid. New cars. Nope, I don't want new cars. 10 worst cars ever made. 10 most unfairly judged. Okay, let me do this one. 30 worst cars ever made. I'm going to do this one for you guys. All right, hang on. Share. All right, we're starting a whole new list. I'm sorry, guys. That list kind of went away, I guess. I don't know. Maybe a virus hit somewhere or something. I'm going to just pick and choose what I talk about here. All right, I'm going to talk about this one. This is a 2009 Covini C6W. I've obviously seen this car before. Stacy shared this in the group. Good, good on her. That's an ugly, just weirdly designed 6-wheel, 4 up front, goofy thing. I don't understand what they were going for here. I don't know. I don't know what they were going for. 400 grand, 500 horsepower. It's just, I don't know, really weird, very strange looking. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know what to say. I don't. If it had the traditional 2 up front, 2 in the back, I mean, it could look good. It kind of reminds me of like a mashup between a Koenigsegg and a Pagani. I don't know. It's just very strange. I don't know. And I know I completely flipped the script on you guys. Totally new list. I get it. It's weird, but that list screwed up. It wouldn't reload the page. So this is what we're going to do now. We're not even an hour into the episode, so better, settle in. Starting a new list. I didn't really plan on it, but whatever. All right, let's see what they have to say about it. Let's see. Not an amateur Photoshop job. This is legitimately what this car looks like. It's Italian. Covini. Obviously, it's Italian. Supposedly provides more grip during a turn and better stopping performance. I mean, maybe. That's very theoretical, but I don't know. I don't see it. 400 grand to start. No, thank you. All right. This is the 2020 Devil 16. I'm not 100% sure if that's how you pronounce that. I don't know if it's Devel or whatever. Now, I've seen this car all over the internet. It's extremely implausible. I'm not even sure it's real. I've seen videos of one move. It is actually moving, but what they're claiming is what I'm questioning hardcore. Now, this car is built in Dubai. If any of you guys know anything about Dubai, it is the definition of excess over there. Like, they do everything big. It's oil money. You got these sheiks over there that they let tigers crawl all over their fucking Rolls Royce Phantoms and shit. They don't give a damn about money because it's just overflowing out of their assholes. This car supposedly makes 5,000 horsepower. Now let that number sink into your brain. 5,000 horsepower. Now look at the car. Where do you think 5,000 horsepower resides in this car? It can't. It 100% cannot. Physically can't. It just can't. To make 5,000 horsepower, you have got to have a large motor with like 7 turbos on it. And this car, the way it's designed, what you're looking at will not accommodate a motor that big. It can't. It literally cannot. Look at the Bugatti Veyron. Look at the Bugatti Chiron. The rear of that car is just it's bubbly. It's a big car. And it doesn't even make 2,000 horsepower. The Chiron makes 1,500. That's a lot of horsepower. This thing claims 5,000. And it only has a quad turbocharged V16, around the same size as the Bugatti. Where are you fitting this engine? And how tuned is this thing that it supposedly makes 5,000 horsepower? 5,000. I want proof that this car makes 5,000 horsepower. I want to see it on a dyno. I want to see the numbers that it's throwing down. I want to see the line. I want to see dyno results. I want to see a dyno that can even measure that much horsepower. First off, I know Top Fuel and, you know, all those funny car asshole drag cars, they're making like 8,000 horsepower. That's fine. Those motors are gigantic. And they're only running, 6 seconds at a time, not even, in a quarter mile. And then every single time they have to break them down and rebuild them. That's unreliable. It's very unreliable. You can't drive that thing, you know, for 50 miles. No. So this is just it's implausible. It's ridiculous on every level. Like, what the hell? I if it's real and it makes 5,000 horsepower, okay, great, good for you, Dubai. You set another ridiculous record or whatever. You brought excess to the world, you know. But I don't see it. I really don't. I don't ever see it coming to market. If it does, it will not make 5,000 horsepower. I don't know. I think it's all hype. I think it's a PR stunt, just like the Dubai police force that I talked about. I don't know, a month or two ago. I think it's all a PR stunt. You know, oh hey, you know, we have this car that actually does run and drive, and you know, it's not a bad looking vehicle. But I'm sorry, you're not going to put a 5,000 horsepower engine in a car that any Joe Schmo can drive. You're just not. It's just not going to happen. So I'm not going to dwell on it anymore. Okay. This is one of the ugliest asshole cars I've ever seen. Comes from Japan. I want to say might be electric. I can't remember. No, it's not electric. Okay. Yeah, no. I was thinking of something else. 2007 Mitsuoka Orochi. If you can wrap your head around that fucking name. $125,000 3.3 liter naturally aspirated V6, only 230 horsepower for 125 grand. No, nope. That needs to have at least a V12 under the hood. For that money, yeah. Or, I mean, I don't know, 500 horsepower V8, V10, something. Whatever. It's ugly as shit, like I said. Like, let me scroll back up here. Ugly. Like, ugly. Terribly ugly. Like, Jesus. What in the world? I don't know who designed this thing, but, I mean, Japanese companies typically make better. A little bit better looking vehicle. Supposed to be Japan's answer to Ferrari, which is a huge claim. Let's see, what else do we have? The name means an 8-headed dragon. Weird. Inspired by the great Honda NSX, which I don't know where you got your inspiration. I don't know where the inspiration went, but I mean, where it came from, okay, great. But I don't see NSX anywhere here. I don't know if you guys do, but I don't see it anywhere on this car. Like, the influence completely out the window. Let's see. Bodywork is certainly eccentric. Duh. The Orochi is a mismatch of Honda and Lexus parts under the body. Okay, that's fine. Okay, reliability, great. Fantastic. Ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. I don't care how reliable it is. It's this ugly. This looks like I don't even know how to describe it. An autistic squid, maybe. I don't know. It's garbage. It's total garbage. Like if anyone bought this thing, shame on you. Shame on you. You bought it because you could. You bought it because it's unique and you had the extra just stupid disposable money laying around. And you wanted something that no one else had where you live, and you're a dipshit. Screw you. Ugly. Ugly car. Terribly ugly. Okay, I don't have any idea what this is. 1986 Hofstetter Turbo. Jesus. I have never heard of that. Again, I apologize for yawning in your faces. It's I mean, it's a interesting car, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's Hofstetter. Where the hell does that even come from? Okay. The guy that built this car is from Brazil. Interesting. Probably his attempt to compete with the Italians. I could only imagine. Okay. This appears to be a kit car. Mario Hofstetter. Let's see. He built the car as a countermeasure to strict government restrictions on vehicle imports in Brazil. Apparently, you couldn't import a ton of like exotic vehicles or whatever. Let's see. Apparently, people in Brazil wanted exotic cars, couldn't get them, so he created this thing. I don't know. 2-liter 4-cylinder, really? I mean, 210 horsepower. That's decent for back then. Just under 9 seconds to 60. Those are the later ones, obviously, but they only made, they only sold 18. So there you go, $30,000 per. Kind of a poor performance there, buddy. I mean, I don't know. The car's not terribly bad looking. It's kind of a cross between, I don't know. I see Vector, I see Lotus, I see Lamborghini. I don't know. Kind of a mashup between a few much better vehicles, but what can you do? Moving along, I've seen this vehicle, the 1977 Panther 6. I've seen it. I know nothing about it. It is just like the first car we talked about with the 6 wheels. Not as good looking, obviously. It's actually pretty terrible looking. I don't know. Let's see where this thing's built. British born Panther 6. Good job, Great Britain. Good Lord. Apparently it came with a 8.2 liter twin turbo Cadillac V8, but it only made a little over 600 horsepower. Not very good out of that size engine with 2 turbos strapped to it. $52,000. Pretty ugly. I don't know. Only 2 were ever made. Yikes. Further underlining the ultimate failure of both the car and its message having any resonance. They built 2. Wow. I wonder if either one of them exists anymore. And if they do, who has them, what they're doing with them, do they even move? I'd like to see that engine. That is a big Cadillac engine. Like, for real, for real. But what can you do? Very ugly car. Very just... Like, so did someone draw that on paper? Like, yep. I don't know. I don't know how the design process works sometimes. I don't know. All right. I don't know this car either. Never seen it. Pretty cool. All right. 1991 MTX Tatra. No idea. This is from the Czech Republic. Interesting. 3.9 liter V8, 302 horsepower, $100,000. It did absolutely had some things going for it. Only four were built. Let's see, what does it say? Okay, well, there you go. The factory burned all the way completely down to the ground. So they only got 4 cars built before that happened. And it's kind of a shame. This is a decent looking vehicle. It gives me I don't know, that rear end looks Jaguar XKE 220-ish. Front end, I don't know. The front end's weird. I can't really pull something out of my ass to what it looks like. I don't know, but it's a decent looking vehicle. That engine choice is a little bit strange. I don't know where they sourced that from because they more than likely did not do it on their own. 3.9 liter V8. That's a very strange sounding engine. Oh goodness, this car made a cameo in a Kanye West video. Oh, that's interesting. Especially with only 4 built. I wonder how the hell they got their hands on that. That's interesting. All right, I've talked about this car before. I want to say in the pop-up headlight episode way back. I'm gonna have to redo that episode because that was a good episode, and that was the. I want to. Was that an audio only episode? I think it was. I'm gonna have to redo that episode. That was a cool episode. Maybe I can get a guest to come in and we'll break it down. 1991 Cizeta Marauder V16 Turbo or V16T. That's not doesn't mean turbo because there wasn't a turbo attached to it. Okay, so this guy that came up with this, his name was Claudio Zampoli, hardcore Italian. Used to work for Ferrari, and let's see, he partnered with Giorgio Moroder, and then they hired an ex-Lamborghini designer named Marcello Gandini, and between the 3 of them, they came up with this. The Cizeta Marauder V16T. Yes, I know that it looks just like a Lamborghini Diablo in the front. I understand that. Complete ripoff. What can you do? I don't know if patents existed. I don't know if, I don't think you can copyright a front end. Number 3, I apologize. 3 yawns. But I think it's a pretty cool car. Obviously, with that Diablo front end, these Ferrari Testarossa side louvers, with the first guy being an ex-Ferrari guy. It's a good-looking vehicle. It's cool. Has the four pop-up headlights in the front, which is a little strange, but what can you do? Had a V16 engine, made 560 horsepower, 300 grand new though, but it freaking revved to 8,000 RPMs. That's insane. Only 19 were built, and then the company went bankrupt. There you go. You'll probably never ever see one in person unless you know someone that's like ultra rich and super lucky to own one. Because who knows if all 19 even still exist? Probably not. And if you own one, good luck getting parts. All I have to say. Let's see. What else we got here? 1978 BMW M1. Ugly as hell. Ugly car. Like all the way around. It's just an ugly car. I don't know much about it. So let's read. 60 grand for the base. 273 horse. It's, I don't know, decent for then. Let's see. BMW managed to scrape together some new partners to get a production run on the road. 455 were built. 100 grand in German money. Deutschmarks, I guess that's what that means. DM, I guess that's what that means. I don't know. It's just a weird car. I've seen multiple pictures, every angle. I don't know. It's just a strange car. The wheels are terrible. I agree with that. Yeah, it's a bad car. Bad car. Okay, I don't know what this is. Oh, it's Mosler. I know Mosler. Yeah, I know Mosler. I just don't know this car. 1985 Mosler Consulier GTP. No idea. I probably butchered that name, but I don't know. Don't really care. 50 grand, 2.2 liter turbo, 490 horsepower. Not bad for back then. Not bad. Yeah, 0 to 60 in 5. That's pretty good. Super lightweight car. Just under 100 or 1,000 kilos. That's nothing. So in our stupid weight scale, it's probably a little over 2,200 pounds. Light car. Super light car. Just don't know why it says 30 worst cars ever made. So why? It's ugly. I mean, I understand that, but performed really well. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, geez. So it's this 2.2 liter turbo 4-cylinder, but it came out of a Chrysler minivan. Yikes. I don't know why they chose that. Let's see. What else does it say? Like, why is it such a bad car? I mean, yes, it's ugly, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't care. Screw it. We're moving on. 1986 Venturi Atlantique. I have definitely seen this vehicle. It's beautiful. I love this car. I don't know much about it, but I do really like it. Look wise, it performed really well, especially for the mid 80s. 307 horsepower. I mean, that's destroying everything from this country by a lot. Obviously, that's part of the reason why it never came here. It's a French supercar. I really enjoy it. Less than 700 were sold. I don't know how many were built, but I really enjoy this car. Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear drove it. Said it was an underrated supercar slayer, which I definitely agree for the time. I don't know how reliable it was. I don't know how well built it was. I have no idea what the interior looks like. I don't know, but from this picture and everything else that I've seen, I really enjoy this car. I don't understand why it's in this list. It shouldn't be, in my opinion. Okay, let's see. Downfall of the car due to no fault of its own would be a capitulation on the business side of things. Company eventually filed for bankruptcy after a number of different owners had tried to guide the company and its flagship Atlantique to success. Okay, so the company didn't survive because of fucking what's the word I'm looking for? Incompetence. There you go. Screw you, dumb douchebags. This is a Lamborghini. Orochi. I don't know how to pronounce that name because they name all of their vehicles after bulls, and I don't know how to pronounce that. Pretty fucking ugly car, though. Jesus, this thing's terrible. I mean, you come out with a car like the oh crap! Now I can't even remember the damn name of it. That was the name of the car. Lamborghini. Never mind. Can't remember the name of it. It'll come to me, and I'll like 7 cars from now. It'll come to me. Let's see. Okay, this is supposed to be a budget supercar at $70,000, or whatever the hell money they use over there in Italy. 2.5 V8. Jesus, that's a small V8. 182 horse. I don't know. It's weird. They didn't even make 800 of them in 6 years. Lackluster performance, plethora of reliability issues. One positive feature: independent McPherson struts and coil spring suspension with telescopic dampers. What? Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Damn it. What the hell's the name of that freaking car? It's going to bug me. Oh, Aston. No. This car does not belong on this list. Aston Martin Vantage Lemma. This car definitely does not belong on this list. 300 grand though. Twin supercharged V8. You don't see that very often. 600 horse. Wow. Yikes. All right. So this was a tribute model to the regular Vantage. 40th anniversary of the 24-hour of Le Mans. 40 examples were built. It was owned by Ford at this time, so this was very downtrodden, very bleak period for Aston Martin. Definitely not the best time for them. It's actually, in my opinion, it's a very, very, it's a real shame that Ford was ever able to own Aston Martin because they completely ruined it, in my opinion. They were just they brought Aston down to their level. They didn't let Aston Martin bring Ford up to their level. It's a real shame because they almost completely ruined Aston Martin, to the point of extinction. And thank God that Aston Martin got away from Ford. So, Aston Martin is now they're a global competitor. They make beautiful, just ridiculously sounding, just outstanding performing vehicles. And had Ford retained ownership of them, it wouldn't be that way now. I mean, it's just them getting away from Ford was the best thing that happened to them. Let's see. Why is this car on this list? Wasn't quick, didn't handle well, heavy, expensive. Okay, maybe. Yeah, well, maybe, I don't know, but it's ridiculously good looking vehicle. I don't know. I like it. I wouldn't pay 300 grand for one, but I like it. Oh, geez. What? For real? Ferrari Testarossa? Why is this car on this list? We're gonna have to read some words here. 94 grand. That was expensive in 84. I understand. But I mean, just look at the thing. Just look at it. Beautiful. Love the Testarossa. Always have, always will. I'm getting hype. This list sucks. Let's see. Pininfarina, styling cues. We talked about Pininfarina last week. Not going to rehash that. All right. Not overly fast. I mean, for what it was, 5.2 to 60. I mean, that's pretty good in the 80s, but I guess some other cars were faster. Let's see. Maintenance and repair costs were crazy expensive. Let's see. What? Oh, okay. Let's see. Seals and hoses would obviously dry rot and deteriorate, causing leaks and very expensive repairs. I don't know. They're good to look at, but apparently they're not very reliable. I don't know. I like it, but I wouldn't own one. Can't own one. I can't fucking afford one. I think shit. Testarossas are crazy expensive now. Oh yeah, I know this car. 1978 Dome Zeros is a Japanese supercar. Crazy car. Just crazy car. Ridiculous. 30 grand. 2.8 V inline 6. 143 horse. Let's see, why is this car on this list? Because it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Oh, okay. Never made it in never made production. It was always just concept. So it shouldn't even be on this list. It's never been made. It was not made. This list should be for only cars that made it into production. This was only a concept car. Oh my god, stupid. Yeah, I don't know. It was just it's a crazy looking car. I don't know why it didn't make. Why didn't it make production? I don't know. I don't know why it didn't make production. I don't care. Moving on. Maserati Merak. Don't know. This car is actually pretty wicked looking. I don't mind it. 20 grand. Shit. That's cheap. All right. So back then, Maserati was owned by Citroen. Let's see. Budget supercar. Yeah, absolutely budget supercar. Supposed to compete with the aforementioned Lamborghini Uraco, however the hell you pronounce it. Underpowered, very underpowered. 190 horsepower V6. The brakes were shit, apparently. Good looking vehicle, but it very underperformed. So there you go. Oh, they did an SS trim. SS. 200 horsepower. What? Junk. You don't put SS on something and then only add 10 horsepower to it. Oh, DeLorean. You're on both lists. I already went over this. I'm not going to dwell on it. As everyone does know, I have mentioned this twice already, and I'm going to mention it again. The DeLorean is coming back, folks. It is making a comeback. They have renamed the company Evolve, capital E, capital V at the front of that name. Yes, I know it's coming back as an EV. I understand. All of you are huffing and puffing. I know. I'm not on board with the EV stuff either, but I'm on board with the DeLorean coming back. And from everything that I've seen so far, the car looks really, really good. I don't know that it's 100% going to look like what I've seen, but if it does, I am 100% on board. I hope that they keep the price realistic. They don't price it at like $250,000. I hope that they keep the gull wing doors. No, it's not going to be made out of stainless steel. I don't know. Everything I've seen, like I said, everything I've seen, I really, really dig the car. And yes, it's an EV, but I'm on board 100%. I'm on board with the DeLorean EV. I won't buy one, obviously, because I probably won't be able to afford one. But I'm on board. I want to see one in person for sure. I'm ready for it. I believe the debut is in August. I could be wrong about that, but keep your eyes open for that. Oh, Jesus. Vector M12 from 1996. All right. So I've talked about Vector before. I want to say a couple weeks ago, the Vector, it was the Vector M8, I want to say. So you guys have not seen this car yet. This one's actually really, really cool. It's been in video games. It's a cool car. I've obviously never seen one in person because they're stupid rare. But anyway, 190 grand, V12, 500 horse, right underneath. GM LT1 V8, bitches. Yeah. It's one of those GM powered Lamborghini Diablo wannabes. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's a Diablo wannabe through and through. Let's see. What was it that made this thing just undesirable? Let's see what we got here. Convoluted and sad history. Yeah. Let's see. Family matters. It's always family matters. Families suck. Like, get over yourselves, family. Good Lord. Let's see. What was it? They used the they used the GM V8 to cut costs. Okay, that's fine. Company shut its doors just days after unveiling the one example of the car that I just showed you. I don't know. It comes down to family squabbling, and that's such a shame because this car it had so much potential. You know, I mean, it really did. I don't know how well built it was. Reliability would have been good because the GMV8. I don't know what the interior looks like. 190 grand in 1996, though. I don't know. It's doable, I guess. That's probably like $500,000 now. If I had to guesstimate with inflation. Moving on. Jaguar XKE should not be on this list. Yes, it was poorly built. Fine. But it was a fucking beast of a car. Beast of a car. Shame on you, supercars.net, for putting this car on this list. Shame on you. This was the fastest car produced in 1992. One of the first cars to break 200 miles an hour. I mean, this car is ridiculous. Car is ridiculous. Good looking, super rare, very expensive. I understand. But it's just crazy. This car is insanely good. Very expensive to fix. Good luck finding parts. You know, if you accelerate too hard, the radio will fly out and hit you in the balls. Jeremy Clarkson did that to himself, by the way, if you didn't know that. Let's see. What in the world? I know, originally this car was supposed to have a giant V12 and all-wheel drive. I get that. But apparently the V12 was too big and too heavy. So they went with a twin-turbo V6. And then it ended up with rear-wheel drive instead of all-wheel drive, which, I don't know. They could have kept the all-wheel drive system. I don't know why they didn't. But they went with twin-turbo V6, rear-wheel drive, but it still performed phenomenally. Like, fucking crazy, this car. And it looks so good. I can't say anything. Anything negative about the car. I don't care how poorly built it is. It's just a ridiculous car. Especially from Jaguar of all freaking companies. Like, car's insane. Insane. Absolutely incredible. This car should not be on the list. Oh, worst regular cars ever. What was this? Worst supercars ever? What is it? Oh, okay. Those were worst supercars and sports cars. Now we're gonna get into some regular cars. So that Joe Schmo like me can afford. Chrysler Crossfire, 100%, 150,000%. This car was their first attempt at a sports car after Mercedes bought Chrysler. That's a very poor execution. It looks like a dog taking a shit in the back. I don't know what's going on with the front end. It's just an ugly, ugly car. It's underpowered. They did an SRT version of it to, kind of compete with some of the Germans, some of the Japanese, like smaller coupe, whatever performance vehicles. It was bad. It was just bad. It was very poor execution, cheaply made. You know, um, I don't know. Mercedes should have brought Chrysler up, but I think Chrysler brought Mercedes down. I don't know. It's just my opinion. I never cared for these cars in any iteration, form, whatever the hell you want to call it. This is a 1993 Lancia Dedra. I don't know. I never heard of it. Don't care. Sucks. It's ugly. That's all I have to say about it. It's ugly. Lancia made some damn good vehicles. This is not one of them. They need to stick to the Stratos and the Delta. This is terrible. Terrible. I don't know if this was like a entry level, affordable, everyday passenger vehicle. I don't know. I don't even care. I don't want to talk about it. Nissan Micra C plus C. What the fucking hell does that even mean? Ugh. This car's terrible. All around. What the hell? Convertible variant. What does C plus C mean? Doesn't even say what it means. Explain yourself. Convertible commuter, maybe? I'm just trying to decipher this shit. That's terrible. I don't even need to explain it. You see it for yourself. That explains itself. Junk. Dodge Caliber, garbage. This was their replacement for the Dodge Neon. I don't even know how they can consider it a replacement for the Dodge Neon. Like, I just don't get it. I really don't. It's so much bigger than that car was. It's not even an evolution of the Neon. It's a completely new thing. So I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. And I could be wrong on that. It may not be a direct replacement, but they did an SRT version of it as well. It's still junk, ugly as shit. Dodge, Chrysler, all their stuff is just generic junk, and their designs are terrible. I don't know. It's just minus the Challenger and the Charger, their shit is shit. All of it. Oh God, the Hummer H3. This vehicle never ever should have seen the light of day. It was a complete farce. It is a disaster. I understand wanting to make a smaller Hummer, but I mean, this is just poor execution. It's terrible. No, garbage. No, I'm breezing through this because I'm over this. I'm tired. I'm over it, and I have to pee. So I'm breezing through this pretty quick. This is a Suzuki X90. Yes, complete garbage. This is their small SUV, if you will. It's not even an SUV. It's a tall car with 2 seats. It's junk. I think the roof came off. I don't know. It's a piece of shit. It's ugly. Suzuki, go away. Just focus on motorcycles, bro. You can't make vehicles to save your lives. You suck. Oh God. I don't even know how to pronounce this. I've seen them. Oh, it's a G-Wiz. Okay, G-Wiz. Yeah. I'll just do G-Wiz. It's electric. Pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very early electric vehicle. They're junk. They're tiny. They go like 7 miles an hour. I don't know. It's junk. PT Cruiser, it speaks for itself. It's a complete piece of shit. Always has been, always will be. I don't care if you turbocharge a 19-cylinder engine and put it under the hood. It doesn't matter. They're junk. They're junk. They're just junk, and they're ugly, and I can't believe I once considered buying one. Maybach 56 or 57 and 62. Now, if you don't know the numbers, it's the length of the vehicle, or trim level, or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. Let me see if it explains it. It does not. It has something to do with the size of the vehicle, or the trim level of the vehicle, or something. Obviously, the 57 is less than the 62, but they were incredibly expensive. Yes, they were incredibly posh. They were like the ultra, like, rich people go to until the Phantom came out. Well, maybe it was like the direct competitor for the Phantom, but it never panned out. The Phantom, Rolls Royce has kind of, in my opinion, it has more prestige to the name than Maybach does. My I'm not trying to bash Maybach. They make very, very high end luxury vehicles, and they're very nice on the inside. But look at the outside. Oh my God, it's just ugly. It's just ugly. Now, I'm not saying the Phantom is the most beautiful vehicle ever built. It's not. But holy shit, it's the total package. Even Bentleys are better than Maybach, in my opinion. And these things were like 400 grand. Jeez, like, no, absolutely not. No, no, no. Citroen C3 Pluriel. I don't even know what the hell that means. I'm not French, but pretty sure these stupid little pillars pop off. I want to say that Captain Slow, James May on Top Gear, I want to say he drove something similar to this. I think these pillars come off to make a true convertible, but it doesn't really matter because this thing is total garbage. Citroen, I'm sorry, Citroen, and your French asshole designer. You make junk. You always have, and you more than likely always will. So I don't know, just get over it, or pack it in. Pack it in. You're done. You're done, bro. 1995 Vauxhall Vectra. All right. GM used to own Vauxhall. I'm not 100% sure if they still do. But this car's, I don't know why this car's on here. Spiritual successor to the Vauxhall Cavalier, which was a Cavalier over here. That's what all of them do. They just rebadge everything. Let's see. Apparently, this is their answer to Ford's Mondeo, which is our Taurus, I want to say. The crossover is weird. I don't know why they just don't call them the same shit. I don't know. This car should not be on this list. This is a pretty cool car. I like all the Vauxhalls. Oh, God. The Pontiac Aztek is like the definition of worst car ever made. This car, the Honda Element and the Nissan Juke all should be on this list at like number 1, 2, and 3 in no particular order because they're all pretty well evenly matched. But this thing's a complete disaster. Now, had they built the concept version, it would have been a lot better looking. I don't know how much more like, how much better it could have performed, or I don't even know what the actual purpose of this vehicle was. Yeah, it's a utility vehicle, but it's not sporty, it's not powerful, it's not capable. It doesn't have like crazy ground clearance. You can't take it off road. It was front wheel fucking drive. Like, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. An SUV, a sport utility vehicle, which was considered, should be all full-time all-wheel drive, or at least have the capability of becoming four-wheel drive, and should never be front-wheel drive, ever. That's not sport. That's not utilitarian. It's not functional. You can't do shit with a front-wheel drive vehicle off-road. Like, it's so stupid. I just don't get it. At that point, you have a bloated car. So, kiss my ass on a front-wheel drive SUV. Oh, well, okay, that's the end of that list. All right, well, we talked about some new shit, or some different stuff, some of the same stuff. All right, that's gonna do it for the list. That's all I've got. I will say do. I know I used to do current events like toward the actually at the front of the episode, but I haven't been doing that lately because I don't know. I've been really busy with work and moving and all that. I haven't really had a ton of a opportunity or time to do what I'm supposed to do for this show. And I very, very much apologize for that. I'm going to get my shit together very soon. I will get back to current events. And, if you guys have Wheel Talk questions, if you want me to answer questions, send them to me. Go into the group and throw out questions. I don't care what they are. I will answer them to the best of my knowledge, the best of my ability. If you have ideas for Wheel Talk questions, send them to me. I will answer them. And I'll do that. I don't mind. I can't ask myself a question because I've already thought about the question and thought about the answer. If you have Wheel Talk questions, like ideas, send them to me. Hit me in the comments. Hit me in the group. Send those to me. That would be greatly appreciated. Send Wheel Talk idea, like question ideas to me. But I will get back to the current event stuff toward the beginning of the episode. Now, I'm going to update you guys a little bit on some of the stuff that I used to talk about with current events. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with the chips. I have not heard any kind of an update on that at all. I haven't read anything. I'm not hearing anything at work. I have no idea what's going on with the chips. What I do know is that China has completely shut their borders down, nothing in, nothing out, because of COVID, which I still just don't understand why it is dragging on this long. I just don't get it. I don't know if it's just I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like, why is COVID still a thing? I just don't get it. Like, if you get sick, stay the hell home. Just stay home. I still don't. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it. But China has completely closed their borders, so we're not able to get parts right now. I don't know what we get from China. I don't know what we're missing, what we're not being able to get. I have no idea. But that's one thing that is going on in the industry. The EV stuff, you guys know what's going on with the EV stuff. Cadillac wants to be completely EV or electrified by 2025. Most companies aren't making the full switch till 30 or 35, and then the industry as a whole wants to be 100% electric by 50, I want to say, which is a lofty goal. It's a very lofty goal. And I mean, I know it's only 2022. In 23 years, the technology is going to be so crazy advanced. It's just going to be out of this world. We can't even fathom what it's going to be at that point. At least I can't. We're not going to be traveling through time or anything. At least I hope not, because that's just going to cause a whole nother bag of problems. But EVs in 23 years are going to be incredibly insane. They're going to be incredibly advanced. They're probably going to be driving themselves. You're probably going to be able to charge them in 2 minutes and get 700 miles. And I'm just speculating, but I don't know. It's just the technology, as quickly as it advances and as it just blows our minds. I can't even imagine what cars are going to be like in 23 years. Like, what was 23 years ago? 23 years ago, 1999. Just put into perspective a 1999 Corvette versus a 2022 Corvette.
just take that comparison, and if you've ever been in both, you know what I'm talking about. And if you've ever driven both, you know the performance numbers and all that stuff. You know exactly what I'm talking about, the evolution that they've gone through. It's just insane, you know. The base model Corvette in 1999, I think, made 345 horsepower. Now, when you consider 23 years, the base model Corvette only makes, now I say only, 495 horsepower. Now, that's not a giant difference. That's only 150 horsepower. But that's actually quite a bit, you know, in the grand scheme. And that is just the base model. And, you know, everything else, though, like the suspension technology, the interior, oh my God, that's where you're going to see the biggest difference, the biggest evolution from interior from 1999 to now, to 2002, 22. It's night and day. It's just, you went from primitive, just garbage ass materials, generic, nothing that anyone would even want to look at, to jet fighter interior, like styling. It's just incredibly insane. So, you know, from here to 2050, when EVs are going to completely take over, I can only imagine, like, I can only speculate how crazy they're going to be. I can only imagine. And I'm not smart enough to know, you know, where they're going with this stuff, how they're going to pull it off, you know, to make it feasible, to make it cheap enough, to make it make sense to everyone on the planet to own an EV. Unless you have literally no other option to own an EV. I just don't know how they're going to do it. I really don't. You know, I talked about solid state versus liquid state batteries a few weeks ago, and the benefits of solid state and all that stuff. So I don't know. I'm not gonna claim to know how they're gonna do it. I'm not smart enough to know. I'm not smart enough to even guess. But in 23 years, it's definitely gonna be interesting. I'll be 63 years old, so hopefully I'll be retired by then. But I don't know. We'll see. But I'm gonna get the hell out of here. I'm at a little over hour 3/4. Again, I apologize for the first list screwing up. I think that website kind of maybe hit a virus or something, but it wouldn't reload, so I had to find another list. So I hit another list. Who cares? This is a car podcast. I talked about cars. Get over it. I don't care. Cars are cars, and that's what I talk about. But that's going to do it for this week. Again, Saturday and Sunday, Good Guys, Nashville Super Speedway. I'll be there. 2 of my buddies will be there. I'm sure I'll run into some other people, but anyone that wants to come out, hang out. I got t-shirts. You want t-shirts? I got t-shirts. You want hats? I got hats. $20 a shirt, $25 a hat. You buy both, I'll give them to you for $40. Come on, hit me. Anyway, that's gonna do it. Thanks for tuning in. You guys are awesome. You know, I appreciate everything. Everybody listening, watching, doing whatever. But like I say, that's gonna do it. Until next time, everybody have fun.